So we said this was the easy bit. We were wrong. Obviously, it's nice and easy taking something apart, but you've got to be very, very careful to get the end product right when putting everything back together. So things that's going to take the time. As you can see, obviously everything that we've got is actually in very, very good condition, almost perfect, apart from the bits of feet marks and the bits of dust where the carpet's been sitting. So the time that it's taken at the moment is actually cleaning everything to make sure it's like as close to new as possible before it's placed back in the car. Myself and Dave are just kind of having a conversation as we put in the car together. As you can see now, the paint finish is beautiful on the car, just in natural light there. Nice new shockers behind the wheels. We've remounted the discs, and what we're going to do is as well, this car is obviously going to be sold to a collector. I'll just walk around it while I'm talking. This is going to be sold to a collector. We know that. We don't know if it's going to get much use. It would be nice to see it on the road, but we feel this may as well be something like a museum piece or something that's bought to basically gather value over time. As you can see, obviously we're just starting to get inside the bay, but as you can see, in here is all lovely as well. And we are getting there with it. We're just talking about in terms of future-proofing this for the next owner. Obviously we want this right as and when it leaves, so what we're actually going to do is basically cavity wax the full car while it's at this point as well. We're going to get into every nook and cranny. I'll just stay walking around the car because I know a lot of people want to see it at this point. Going to cavity wax every nook and cranny and just make sure that we basically protecting this for future ownership or use. As you can see, obviously we're starting to put the seals and everything back in there now. Had the chaps round from the glass place last night, and they have obviously refitted all of our glass. They were here for hours doing a very nice job. We're going to look at things like these stickers as well. These are obviously original, and see if we can get our sticker guy to kind of replicate some of the old stickers possibly as well. But as you can see, obviously just showing you down that side in terms of paint quality. Obviously, as you'd expect, the lengths that we've gone to with this car, there isn't any rust on it now. We've put some bits back in the interior. Obviously, we took the ECU out and everything for when the welding was getting done. We were just scared we were going to spike the ECU. Just going to be bone stock inside this car. When we did first get it, it had some fancy Defi gauges in. We took them out. We just want it to be kind of OE and as close to factory as possible, with no modifications, which I think is the way to have one of these. But yeah, just another little clip. As you know, we're building it all up. It'd be nice for the new owner / buyer to have like a build thread to see how much kind of love and effort's gone into his car or her car, whoever decides to buy it. Little box of goodies this morning to go with the P1 build. It has been made apparent to us that these little Subarus aren't as cheap to mess about with as they once were, as we found out this morning. So new STI rear drop links to go on. As you can tell, obviously, with the build of the car and the videos we built them up, we're not looking to cut any corners, and we're looking to put as many fresh parts on as possible. So there's the rear drop links. Look quite swanky, them, actually. That is the timing belt. The new timing belt to go on. All new exhaust rubbers as well. These are only little bits, but we think that the small bits will probably make the difference at the end of the job. All new water hoses. We've got, what's them bearings for?
Part of the timing belt kit.
Bearings to go with the timing belt kit. What else have we got in here, Dave?
All side skirt fittings.
All new side skirt fittings and clips. Obviously, the smaller details to this car are what's going to make it. Obviously, we want the side skirts to sit flush, and those old clips weren't going to cut the mustard. So all new side skirt clips. What else do we have?
New spark plugs.
New set of plugs. Oh, drop that one. Exhaust gaskets.
Yep, turbo gasket. O-rings for the water crossover pipe.
New O-rings. What else have we got?
Inlet manifold gaskets.
Inlet manifold gaskets.
Somewhere in the tensioner for the thing.
Yep.
New water pump.
New water pump to go in.
Another gasket here, must be something else.
Another gasket. Obviously, when we got the car as well, like the lad obviously had it stored. He'd done a lot of maintenance before it was parked up, and it actually had an engine rebuild, and it's done very little miles, which we're going to document. So what we're looking to do is basically just freshen up as many parts as possible. And what we're also going to do is basically get the engine inspected and make sure everything's right. New fuel filler neck. I'm sure if you're into, doesn't matter whether it's imports or UK cars now, obviously these are getting rusty, so these fuel filler necks, ours was okay, but it wasn't as good as what we wanted, so new fuel filler neck, and obviously a new clutch. I'm not going to bother opening that because I'll be there 10 minutes.
555 rack ends. strap rod ends, auxiliary belts.
So yes, a little box of beauty. However, the price, how much is all this just for the little tidbits? £800 just for those little bits. I remember once upon a time you could probably buy that for maybe 300 quid for the Subaru. So it just goes to show time's moved on. While we're on with this little video clip as well, because I think I've got enough to make the next part of the video, I'm going to show you obviously back to the car, because again, Dave's probably spent another maybe a day or so. I mean, a day or so, you would think maybe he's at our kind of level, you have the car finished. But the thing is with cars like this, the main part of the build is in getting everything to fit right. So the door cards, obviously, as you can imagine, over time they've heated up and shrink, so we've had to rework the door cards and get the door cards to fit, which, as you can see, are beautiful. Now, believe it or not, when we put these on, the gap in these door cards was pretty much like that, so they weren't great. So we've basically sorted those out. As you can see, obviously the seats are all back in there now as well. With regards to the seats, amazing condition for the age. We have an area which we are going to sort, which I'm going to take you on and show you in a minute. Obviously all the dash and everything's back in now. I'll show you the driver's seat. So we're quite blessed. Sorry? It's not what? Yeah, the driver's seat's just placed in, but again, attention to detail. This might be a little bit fussy, but you can see obviously there's a little bit of the fabric just sagged there. The seat material is actually excellent, but obviously with regards to people's different weights over the years, probably including mine, a bit heavy, it's stretched the material. So we have a guy down, it's a seat repair guy, which you'll have seen a video on the other channels about. He basically does everything. So we're going to send this back down to him, get him to pick the stitching apart, and then we're going to restitch the material, heat it, and obviously make sure that all these little ripples are gone. So I think this is good enough for us to do the next part of the video, which I'm going to do. Obviously, if you're looking as a potential buyer, this sort of thing should help. But yes, we're definitely getting there now. So that concludes the next part of the P1 build. Thank you very much for everybody for staying tuned, and hopefully obviously you find the content interesting. Obviously for us, this is a build of patience, passion, and obviously striving to kind of get the end product right for the next potential buyer. Feel free to like, share and subscribe to the channel. And if you are looking for a P1 or know anybody who might be looking for a P1, this car will definitely be worth a look. It'll be in the right kind of condition. It may appeal to a collector. It will be nice to use. It'll be ready for the road and ready to go. But please do stay tuned. We're getting on with this very, very well now, and we'll catch you on the next episode.